whether they have accepted your resignation.
Your Lordship, in fact, it was based on the consent to work for them. Now that consent stands withdrawn, so that's sort of.
डाइवर्जन कौन करता है लैंड का? रेवेन्यू अथॉरिटीज करते हैं। कर लिया ना आपने 10% कर लिया, तो अब क्या कंट्रोवर्सी है?
Executing court has allowed the application filed by the respondent directed to refund the amount of TDS which was deducted.
एग्जीक्यूटिंग कोर्ट कैसे कर सकती है? ये तो कल आपका जूनियर बता सकता था, 2 मिनट का मैटर था, जबरदस्ती आपने कमिश्नर साहब को बुलवा लिए। तो आप फीस नहीं दे रहे क्या आपको?
Malos, in fact, the
फीस दे रहे नहीं दे रहे?
Malos.
यस मिस्टर नेमा, क्या केस है बताइएगा। कमिश्नर साहब आपको इसलिए बुलाया गया है कि वकील साहब की कुछ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है।
Your Lordship, in fact, if I may clarify that.
ठीक है, वो
Yesterday, my lords, I have resigned from the panel of JDA. So now there is that conflict.
कल फिर क्यों बोला था आपने कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है? कल ही
Lordship, I had resigned after this case.
मतलब you resigned yesterday only?
Yesterday after this case by email.
Okay.
At 7 o'clock, so now it's no longer there.
नहीं तो whether they have accepted your resignation.
Your Lordship, in fact, it was based on the consent to work for them. Now that consent stands withdrawn, so that's automatically cancelled.
Okay.
And the law officer has
अगर आपके ऑफिसर बता देते तो आज कमिश्नर साहब को यहाँ बुलाना ही नहीं पड़ता।
Lordship, it happened after this case in the evening.
Okay.
Slowly, my lords, I'm
Yes,
leaving most of
बताइएगा।
the panels.
But the issue in this petition is that, my lord, JDA has deducted TDS from the amount of compensation which was paid in lieu of the acquisition of agricultural land.
जी।
Now, my lord, before the executing court, the respondent filed an application for refund of said amount, claiming that because that land is an agricultural land, therefore TDS could not be deducted.
जी।
मतलब
अब क्या है इस बिंदु पर?
मतलब as far as मतलब 194 LA talks about deduction of 194 LA of Income Tax Act.
सही है, अभी इनकम टैक्स एक्ट लीजिए। 194 LA जी।
It says any person responsible for paying to a resident any sum being in the nature of compensation or the enhanced compensation or the consideration or the enhanced consideration on account of compulsory acquisition under any law for the time being in force of any immovable property other than agricultural land shall at the time of payment of such sum in cash or by issue of a check or draft or by any other mode whichever is earlier deduct an amount equal to 10% of such sum as income tax thereon, provided that no deduction shall be made under this section where the amount of such payment or as the case may be, the aggregate amount of such payments to a resident during the financial year does not exceed 100,000 rupees.
2 लाख हो गया, आपने पुरानी किताब से पढ़ रहे हैं। 2,50,000 रुपीस। चलिए। Yes.
Now, it has come on record, my lord, that the land which was situated, the land of the respondent was situated within the municipal limits.
See, that is not the issue. Issue is that whether land use was changed from agriculture to any other use before it was acquired. That is the issue which is to be now adjudicated. If land use was changed, डाइवर्जन कौन करता है लैंड का? रेवेन्यू अथॉरिटीज करते हैं। तो अगर डाइवर्जन हो गया था तब 194 LA में आप कवर नहीं होंगे, और अगर डाइवर्जन नहीं हुआ था, इट कंटिन्यूड टू बी एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड, then they are not required to deduct income tax.
But even otherwise, the definition of agriculture land is provided under section 214 of Income Tax Act.
देखते हैं, वो भी दिखाइए।
Well, it's 214 subclause 3, my lords.
Just a minute. 214 is capital asset means.
Clause 3.
Clause 3, yes.
Agricultural land in India.
Not being
land situated, first, A, in any area which is comprised within the jurisdiction of municipality, whether known as a municipality, municipal corporation, notified area committee, town committee, or by any other name, or a cantonment board, on which has a population of not less than 10,000. Or in any area within the distance measured aerially, not being more than 2 kilometers from the local limits of any municipality or cantonment board, referred to in item A, and which has a population of more than 10,000 but not exceeding 1 lakh, or not being more than 6 kilometers from the local limits of any municipality or cantonment board referred to in item A.
A में ही आ गए ना?
A में ही आ गया, मतलब it is within the municipal limit. That has come on record.
For the removal of doubt, it is. Agricultural land not being land situated.
Not being land situated in any area.
That if it is situated in municipal area, then 194 LA का जो exemption है agricultural land के लिए वो applicable नहीं होगा. So income tax has been rightly deducted. Now the issue is about refund. Whether income tax deducted can, since you are not required to pay income tax, whether it is liable to be refunded or not.
But as per provision of 194L, we have to compulsory deduct 10% TDS.
वो तो आपने कर लिया ना आपने 10% कर लिया, तो अब क्या कंट्रोवर्सी है?
Malad, the executing court has allowed the application filed by the respondent directed to refund the amount of TDS which was deducted.
एग्जीक्यूटिंग कोर्ट कैसे कर सकती है? हैं?
Your Lordship, in fact, if I may clarify on the aspect of refund, my lords, how it happens. Your Lordship, while filing the return, the person has to mention, my lords, to what extent the amount is.
That is the procedure for refund, that you file for income tax return,
My lords.
and after filing income tax return, if the income is not liable to tax, then you seek refund.
Yes, my lords.
But how executing court, वो order कहाँ है executing court का, दिखाइएगा.
Malad, that page number 41.
Annexure बताइए.
Annexure P7.
ठीक है. This order cannot be sustained. लिखिएगा. This petition, this.
Your Lordship, also noteworthy to mention, we don't know if that person has filed his return for that assessment.
We are not concerned with it. We are not concerned with it. Why to unnecessarily extend the?
My lords.
ये तो कल आपका जूनियर बता सकता था, 2 मिनट का मैटर था, जबरदस्ती आपने कमिश्नर साहब को बुलवा लिया. साहब फीस नहीं दे रहे क्या आपको?
My lords, in fact, the.
फीस दे रहे नहीं दे रहे?
My lords.
तो क्यों बुलवा लिया?
My lords, for a government department, it's always about the status and prestige.
चलिएगा.
Money is secondary.
This petition
My lords, the
filed by the
difficulty was
Jabalpur Development Authority, being aggrieved of the order dated
23/6/2009.
23/6/2009, passed by learned Second Additional District Judge Jabalpur in case number बताइएगा.
27 of 2008. Execution case number 27 of
Case
2008.
number 27 of 2008. Ramesh Prasad Yadav versus Jabalpur Development Authority, directing the authority to refund amount of income tax deducted by them on payment of compensation which was due to the decree holder at the time of acquisition, on account of acquisition of his land, agricultural land. Next para. Reading from the definition of agricultural land in India as provided in section 2 within bracket 14 another bracket Roman 3 of the Income Tax Act 1961, पर वो 194 LA में भी Income Tax Act 1961 लिख रहे हैं. It is pointed out that agricultural land in India is one which is not being a land situate dash within bracket A, small a, bracket close, in any area which is comprised within the jurisdiction of a municipality, within bracket, whether known as a municipality, comma, municipal corporation, comma, notified area committee, comma, town area committee, comma, town committee, comma, or by any other name, bracket close, or a cantonment board, and which has a population of not less than 10,000, full stop. Shri Siddharth Sharma, learned counsel for the Income Tax Department, along with Shri, आपका शुभ नाम बताइए?
शिव कुमार
जी.
जॉइंट कमिश्नर.
Shri Shiv Kumar, Joint Commissioner, Income Tax, submits that till yesterday he was counsel for Jabalpur Development Authority, and on account of conflict of interest, he had made a request for engagement of another counsel when this court was constrained to order for personal presence of the Commissioner Income Tax. Full stop. He submits that yesterday evening he has resigned from the panel of Jabalpur Development Authority, and therefore he is now in a position to assist the court. Full stop. Next paragraph. After hearing learned counsel for the parties and going through the record, comma, it is evident that while passing impugned order dated 23/6/2009, learned Second Additional District Judge Jabalpur has failed to take into consideration the definition of agricultural land in India, is single inverted commas में लिखना, agricultural land in India, single inverted commas close, as defined in section 2 within bracket 14 another bracket Roman 3, in as much as there are certain exceptions provided in the Income Tax Act 1961 for treating a land situated in the municipal area to be an agricultural land. Full stop. Thus, the order of refund of income tax is arbitrary, cryptic, and deserves to be set aside, and is hereby set aside. Next para. At this stage, Shri Siddharth Sharma submits that if petitioner is interested in seeking refund of income tax, then the normal procedure is to file a return, and then after filing return, refund is sought on the basis of an assessee not falling within the purview of the Income Tax Act. Full stop. Thus, this order of the learned second additional district judge Jabalpur cannot be sustained in the eyes of law. Next para. Taking all these facts into aforesaid facts into consideration, comma, this court is of the opinion that the impugned order having been passed without authority and being oblivious of the provisions contained in section 2 within bracket 14 and another bracket 3 of the Income Tax Act 1961 cannot be sustained in the eyes of law. Said order is hereby set aside.
Only one correction, my lord. In the last one, lord, your lordship has written that petitioner can claim refund. My lord, it should be respondent.
Petitioner, sorry, respondent number 1 can claim respond. Thank you. Thank you.